Good morning and happy Wednesday to the Uncomfortables, the Captain Screw, the LFA family, McGroy Nation, coming to you live from the deep red state of Tennessee on rumble.com/LFA TV. Welcome to Ungoverned. Happy Wednesday to you. I forgot what day it was. What'd you say? Wednesday, as the great Greg Stocker would say. Wednesday. All right, it's Wednesday. It's Hump Day. It's Trump Day. I saw Papa Lee in the chat. What up, Papa Lee? Papa Lee said he was listening to my spot on the Trump Tuesday space last night. Thought it was really a Trump interview. I was really feeling it last night. You know what it was last night? My allergies kicked in. And so I was really raspy. And Trump has sounded really raspy lately. Mm-hmm. Maybe he's dealing with allergies. I think he might just be tired, too. You know? Bomb, Iran. But yes, this is it's gonna be a great day today. It is Hump Day. It is Trump Day. I'm happy Papa Lee, got a good laugh out of last night's X Space. I do that every Tuesday with Mark Naughton and Neil McCabe and James R. Pirate Radio and Crypto Lawyers and all these guys. It's a great time over there on Trump Tuesday. So we do that. Every Tuesday night, they start their space at 7 o'clock Eastern. It's a lot of fun. Folks, breaking news.
What?
Breaking news. What? This is CNN. Nobody approves of Congress. Could you believe it? Nobody approves of Congress. Nobody. Jeremy says in the chat, by the way, they're going to be playing the Bongino interview today, which is great. You're going to love it. So no need to leave. Jeremy's going to be kind of co-streaming that, so that's cool. That'll be second half of Dan's show. So nobody approves. Someone asked, who just asked that? When am I calling C-SPAN? I totally forgot about that. The John Barron thing. When are you calling? I don't even know when do they do calls? Like when does that, do they have like special times where they do that? I don't know. I'll have to look into it. I want to do it though. Somebody had to do it. I'm the chosen one. But the breaking news of the day is nobody approves of Congress. It's not really breaking news, but it's very important to understand what they're facing. Both parties on Capitol Hill, what they're facing. You think the Republicans are bad. The Democrat voters think Democrats are bad. And the reason why is because, and it's crazy, but both sides of the aisle, right, want to see their elected representatives deliver results, and both sides are failing. Now, the left is better at governmenting than the right because the left believes in big government, right? So they already believe in having the government be a little too proactive, right? A little too proactive. But And the right is saying it's limited government, right? We don't want government to do too many things. We don't want government to be too involved in your life. And so, and that's an excuse. Some of it is nonsense, where a lot of these entrenched politicians just don't want to give up their power. They say they're small government conservatives, but they're actually addicted to power. The left is better at governmenting. I guess the word is governing, but not fairly. And delivering results for their people, and the right is. Also, the left is more cultish. That's why they levy that accusation against us. Oh, you guys are in a cult. Really? There's a lot of disagreement on the right, which is good. Disagreement is healthy. Intentional, what's the word I'm looking for? Division. I don't like the word because a lot of people use that. You're creating division by attacking Candace Owens. No, I'm not. I'm actually trying to heal the division because she's the one driving the wedge. Well, we're going to get the wedge out of here and she can go, do whatever she wants to do. Again, free speech. And I said this, I've said this to a number of people. I think I've had this conversation. People are like, if you ban somebody from your chat, or if you don't want to hear someone else's opinion, like you don't like the First Amendment. Okay, can you pull up the First Amendment?
Me?
No, does the First Amendment say Congress shall make no law? Or does the First Amendment say Sean Ferris shall have no opinion on Candace Owens? Because I I don't think I'm named in the Constitution. It would be pretty cool if I was, but I don't think I'm named in the First Amendment, right? First Amendment restricts government. It does not restrict me from saying something about somebody if I think they're being ridiculous. And by the way, it doesn't restrict the ridiculous person from being ridiculous. The best part about free speech is you have the freedom to be dumb. Okay, you have the freedom to be stupid. The only thing you can't do is violate the law. It's pretty clear. But there's a lot of disagreement and dissent. Conversation, discussion, differing opinions on the right. It is the big tent. There is what's called diversity of thought. On the left, there's no diversity of thought. So it's easier for them and their representatives to get things done because there's less internal resistance. Some look at that as a negative. I actually look at that as somewhat of a positive because the best ideas in the free marketplace of ideas, if you believe in, free market capitalism in an economic sense, you should also believe in it in a free speech sense where the best ideas will win over time. Then it just comes down to, do you have the quality of public servant to deliver on those ideas once the best ideas have risen to the top? Unfortunately, and on both sides, like the left has a problem with their representatives, but their representatives are a little bit better than the right. We obviously have problems with people like John Thune, John Cornyn, Mitch McConnell, Lisa Murkowski, et cetera, et cetera. So the point of that whole beginning is both sides, the left and the right, they don't like Congress. They don't like Congress. And I can't blame them. Now, again, there's one of two roads that we can go down if we're not happy with the job that Congress is doing. Road number one is we can throw up our hands in frustration and what does it matter? It's all rigged anyway. Everything's predisposed and they're selections, not elections, and we have no say, and we could blackpill and we could spiral, right, like a bomb being dropped on the Ayatollah. We could spiral and we could blackpill and we can just, completely.
It sounded like my nose last
night. Yeah. Oh, Brennan's got allergies too. Interesting. It was interesting.
It was mad.
But look, here's the point, right? Is we can either blackpill over it. I'm not saying not to be frustrated. We have every right to be frustrated. It should not be hard. I posted this on X this morning. It should not be hard to pass legislation that is supported by upwards of 80% of the people. Should not be hard. Should not be hard. Okay, Congress's job, both chambers of Congress, the House and the Senate. For those of you who don't know, crack open a civics book. The term is bicameral legislature. Two houses in the legislature, the House and the Senate. Congress's job is to deliver on our requests, not to deliver on their personal preferences. That's why I have such a big problem with Thomas Massie, right? Massie likes to talk about being principled, but he really isn't. And he's not a good representative. He's representing himself, just like Tom Tillis. He's representing himself. Remember the Ed Martin thing? I don't like the January 6th. I don't like this. I don't like what he said. I. Sound like a freaking, a guy on a pirate ship. Aye, Captain. Or he's warming up to start singing like the opera. Me. Shut up. It's not about you. It's about your constituents, Tillis, Massie, etc. Now, if you return a poll of your constituents that says that, an overwhelming majority of them support you doing a certain thing, and then you do the thing. Being a congressman is actually a very easy job. Ask your constituents what they want, do what they want, and then if it doesn't work out, just blame them. I'm not saying it in a bad way, but I'm not there to vote on my behalf. I'm there to vote on your behalf. Obamacare didn't work out. Well, my constituents wanted to try it, so I represented their best wishes. That's it. It's like if you order your steak to be like super rare. You're like, I want it to be mooing when it hits the plate. And your waiter or waitress is like, you understand that there's a risk that comes with that, like it could be undercooked, etc. You could get sick. But yeah, I know, I want to move. Then you can't hold them, you say, I just cooked it the way you wanted it. All right. The fact of the matter is, on both sides of the aisle, we are not being adequately represented. Polling is showing that. What do? We go down road number one. Door number one is black pill, throw our hands up in frustration, stay home. Conservatives that stay home do what? Brennan, what happens when conservatives stay home? What happens?
It's like they're voting for the left, kind of.
Yes.
I don't know the answer you're looking
that is the answer.
Yeah, okay.
The answer is, the cliche is, Republicans who stay home elect Democrats.
Oh, wow. I was so close.
Okay? That's the cliche. Republicans that stay home elect Democrats. Period. All right? Now, you can't just... I know the next thing is, but the rhinos! There's too many rhinos. How do you get rid of the rhinos? It's called the primary. Vote in your primaries. Don't just vote in your primaries. Play a role in your primaries, right? Brennan and I are playing a role in a local primary for Rutherford County Sheriff. We are going to knock on doors over the course of the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks or so to hopefully get the candidate who we support, Kenneth Barrett, the best, over the finish line in Rutherford County. Okay? No disrespect to anybody else on the ballot. He's our guy. We're supporting him. That's the way you make sure you have a high-quality candidate on the ballot in November. And sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes you think you've got the best candidate. Somebody else wins. You're not happy about it for a week or two, but you have to come around and make sure ultimately that the Marxist doesn't win. That's why we had this conversation yesterday about John Cornyn and Ken Paxton. I know everybody, most of the chat wants Paxton. We did a poll last week, in the chat, Paxton or Cornyn. It was Paxton. Everyone wants Paxton. But if John Cornyn wins the runoff on May 26th in Texas, are you going to just stay home? Because if you stay home, it's essentially a vote for James Tallarico. And you would not want to elect James Tallarico. Melly Johnson said Republicans stayed home yesterday in Georgia. I disagree if you look at the full scope of the results. Georgia's 14th Congressional District yesterday had their special election primary. It's a jungle primary, so all the candidates run on one ballot. The Democrat finished with 3,000 or so more votes. It might be more than the Republican, but those are the two leading candidates. If you look at there were 10 or so Republican candidates on the ballot in that race. There were far more Republican votes cast than Democrats in that race. So Republicans came out and outnumbered Democrats. They just voted for a bunch of different people. That's going to a runoff. The Democrat didn't win last night. He was the top contender out of that goes to the runoff election. He got the most votes last night. But in the runoff, there will most likely be more Republican votes than Democrat votes. Of course, what matters is if you show up. The point of the matter is, if you're upset with Congress, and many of us are, if you're upset with the House, the Senate, many of us are, then we have to play a bigger role in the process going forward. That's the only way to fix this. Screaming about it, yelling about it, pounding the table, posting on social media only is not a good enough way to fix the system. If you want to fix the system, you've got to insert yourself into the process. And I've been saying this for the last 6 years. We used to have a phrase on Long Island called own the process. You literally take ownership of the entire thing from start to finish. Go gather signatures, get your candidate on the ballot, knock on doors, put out those mailers, walk the different precincts, talk to people at supermarkets, have those conversations, phone bank, text messages, emails, go to events, bring your candidate places, throw local events and get-togethers and gatherings in your, in that area where your candidate's running. It's a lot of work. And a lot of it is thankless. You don't get anything for it. A lot of times you don't get paid. A lot of times you do burn through your shoes. You do put miles on your car. You do wind up running yourself into the ground. That's the cost of doing business in this system, though. And it's going to take more than just a handful of people to do that. It's going to take hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens of thousands of people to do that. And there will be disagreements along the way. But if we don't do that, if we don't change our behavior, we will never achieve different or better results. So change the behavior, own the process, and get better results. That's what we've got to do. That's the only way this works. There is no other way. There is no other way. Okay? I hope we understand that. We're going to talk about the low approval rating of Republicans and Democrats in Congress. What does that mean for November? It means nothing is a slam dunk. Nothing is a slam dunk. Before we do that, I want to get to a word from our friends over at OFP Farms. It's Oscar Foxtrot Papa Farms. OFPfarms.com. OFPfarms.com. They've done it again, folks. OFP Farms has done it again. They've got their most exquisite box yet in honor of America's 250th birthday. We're going to be talking a lot about America 250 as we get closer. We're within 4 months now of our 250th birthday. Maybe it's time that we start doing some America 250 things in our communities, right? Who wouldn't want to just get out, celebrate America? Liberals, we're not going to invite them anyway. Get out, celebrate this country. We love this place, right? You can pre-order your America 250 box at OFPfarms.com. If you use the promo code America250, that's America250, you will get 20% off of your entire purchase of the pre-order. So 20% off the pre-order with code America250. That's America250 at OFPfarms.com. Or maybe you've already done that, but you're running low on some Goat Kisses, okay? You're running low on some Goat Kisses lip balm. You're running low on some of the soaps they've got, some of the magnesium stuff they've got, some of the tallow bombs and beard oil. I got to do some beard oil. I'm starting to get dry and scratchy again. You go to OFPfarms.com, use the promo code Sean, SHAWN, you get 10% off of your entire purchase at the website, OFPfarms.com. It's OFPfarms.com, Oscar Foxtrot, PapaFarms.com. All right. So check that out. The America 250 box is going to be amazing. I cannot wait to see our friend, great guy Gary, do his unboxing of the America 250 box. As Wanda Wilson says in the chat, even with all its flaws, America is still the greatest country in the world. Yes! Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Next, a word from our friends at Armor Colostrum. It's tryarmor.com/LFA TV, TRYARMRA.com/LFA TV, tryarmor.com/LFA TV. I've been taking colostrum for a couple months. I have gotten unbelievable results from it. It's great for your gut health. That's byproduct number one is a healthy gut. You know I'm always on the lookout for life hacks, ways to strengthen immunity, gut health, improve fitness and metabolism, enhance my skin and hair radiance. That is what Armor Colostrum can do for you and more. Colostrum is the first nutrition that we receive in life. Contains all the essential nutrients that our bodies need in order to thrive. Colostrum can help reactivate your hair growth, can help your skin glow. It can fortify your gut and your gut health, ignite your metabolism. It can help fuel your fitness performance and your recovery as well. Check it out at Try. That's TRYARMRA.com. Tryarmor.com/LFA TV. Tryarmor.com/LFA TV for up to 30% off of your first order. That's Try, TRYARMRA.com/LFA TV. Tryarmor.com/LFA TV for up to 30% off. All right. I saw Carl Benj say in the chat, there are too many people saying, why vote? Yes, there are way too many people saying that. Why vote? Look at Congress now. It's a great comment, by the way, from Carl. Why vote? Look at Congress now. That's why you vote. It's like, oh, well, we voted for Trump and they're not doing it. Trump makes up one of the three branches of government. He is the executive. What I find incredible is a lot of people blaming Donald Trump for the lack of results in this term, or what perceived lack of results. There have been results, but there's a perceived lack of results and lack of action. Folks, we don't have a king. I know I sound like a liberal. No kings. That's not what I'm doing. We do not have a king. And I said this after 2024 and got yelled at for it. Oh, you're not celebrating the win. We're in a feel-good moment. Yeah. What does last year's Super Bowl win mean for the Seattle Seahawks next season? Do they start off with any advantage? No. They have the exact same record as everybody else. That's why it's hard for teams to repeat and three-peat and four-peat, etc. And after 2024, I said, remember, you can go back and watch the show. It was November 5th or 6th. I said, doesn't this feel good? Yeah, it feels good. Doesn't it feel good? Don't you want to be addicted to winning? Yeah, I want to keep winning. And then holiday season, we get into January, Trump gets inaugurated, and everyone's like, yeah, we won, it's great, yeah, blah, the left is in disarray. And it's true, the left was in disarray for a while. But electing one man does not fix all of your problems. I love the president. He's one of the best presidents in history. He's a transformative guy. There's no taking that away from him. There's no taking that away. But one election does not mean all of our problems are fixed with a magic wand. The president doesn't have that power. Congress needs to act. And unfortunately, president election's over. Trump won, problems are solved, and then Congress doesn't do what Congress is supposed to do and doesn't deliver results for the American people who sent them there. And they're like, Trump's not doing enough. He can't unilaterally pass legislation. He can't unilaterally pass legislation. Congress needs to act, and that is why many Americans are very upset with Congress as a whole. The Democrat Party, I do not want you to get this twisted. I'm not telling you that this means a damn thing about November in terms of, the Democrats have a lower approval rating than Republicans. We got November in the bag. Wrong. All you need is enthusiastic voters. That's what you need. And right now, because the Democrats aren't the party in power and they have the whole fight back, we're going to fight back. They have the more enthusiastic base right now. Donald Trump is a galvanizer for us in elections where he's on the ballot, but he also activates the left, right? With their Trump derangement syndrome. It's what gets them out of bed every night and every morning. Gets them out of bed every morning. It's what they sleep about and dream about every night. 37% of registered voters said they viewed the Republican Party positively, with 51% seeing the GOP in a negative light. Helping to sink the Democrat Party's underwater ratings are Democrats themselves. Only 62% of Democrats questioned in the survey viewed their party positively, compared to 77% of Republicans who gave the GOP a favorable rating. The release of NBC News' survey came a few days after the latest Fox News national poll indicated a record 70% of registered voters disapproved of the job Congressional Democrats are doing, up 6 points since December of 2025. Views of Congressional Republicans weren't much better, with 64% disapproving. Okay, both parties in Congress are basically hated. What does it mean? What does it mean? It means us, we, as a collective. Not the warmth of collectivism, but us, the people. Capital T, capital P, the people, us. We need to play a bigger role. Congress isn't doing its job. I know. And we keep sending bad people or inadequate representatives to Congress. We have to take some accountability here ourselves. I'm not scolding anyone, saying, it's your fault. No. But partially, it is our fault. Accountability matters. Sometimes looking in the mirror is tough. You see something you don't want to see. It is what it is. But you realize, hey, I don't want to see that. I got to fix it. No problem. Let's do it. We look in the mirror and understand that some of the reasons why we're sending bad congressional representatives up to Capitol Hill, like Don Bacon, like Tom Tillis, like Lisa Murkowski, like Mitch McConnell, is because we're just not playing a role in all phases of the game. Arguably more important than the general in this department is the primary. Your candidates aren't always going to win in the primary, but you should always participate in those primaries. Congressional representatives, both on the Republican side and the Democrat side, are essentially hated. Hated! All right. The reason I bring that up is because it should not be difficult to pass legislation that is overwhelmingly popular with the American people, and for some reason it is. Okay? For some reason it is. And you're dealing with, again, these representatives who They want to cling to power. So they don't really have an actual vested interest personally in passing the SAVE Act, right? But you are seeing, and you have seen, ask Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger. There were a few more that this happened to, right? But ask some of these guys and gals who, especially like with the Tea Party and things of that nature. Ask these people who have been replaced. Primary Massey's about to figure that out too. Massey's about to find that out too. Big rally tonight in Kentucky's 4th Congressional District. Massey's about to find out the hard way. If you don't do what your people want you to do, eventually your day of reckoning is around the corner. It's coming politically. And for a lot of people, I hope it is coming politically in the primary process. I want to play for you this clip. Bernie Moreno from the state of Ohio. He's a senator. He won in the 2024 cycle. Bernie Moreno talking about where the Senate is on the talking filibuster regarding the SAVE Act. Let's watch this here, real quick.
For the entire conference, he can't fire. He didn't hire these people. And unfortunately, Laura, I'm just going to be blunt. There's 3 or 4 Republicans that just won't be part of the team. And they row in their own different direction. And unfortunately, Leader Thune has very little leverage over them. Now, we're working through it. Today, we had a very spirited conversation at lunch, and I think we're getting closer to having people realize how important it is for us to deliver on a fundamental promise, which is to secure our elections for the future. So I think we're going to get there. I think we're getting there. And I can tell you, Senator Thune is open to that dialogue. He personally calls some of these senators, but it's very, very difficult when you don't have a lot of leverage.
Well,
okay. You hear that there's about 4 senators now. It may be a little bit longer, but I think if push came to shove and some of the hardliners moved into the talking filibuster category, into that approval category, you'd see some of those other folks who could be swayed. They'll go whichever way the political wind blows. Keep the pressure on. Here's Mike Lee, who I would love to see be the Senate Majority Leader out of Utah. Look, are any of these guys perfect, and are any of these guys heroes? And am I asking you to anoint these people saviors? No, they are public servants. But Mike Lee does a great job, and he does a great job here explaining the talking filibuster and what the latest is out of the Senate. He posted this on X late last night.
All right, so we're one step closer now to getting the Save America Act on the Senate floor. How exactly that's going to happen? Well, we're still working on that. There's a lot of uncertainty and some concern, but we're working on it. The important point right now is for us to refocus our energy on making sure we get the best arguments we can possibly put forward on this bill. Now, look, I still believe the very best shot we've got at doing this is invoking the talking filibuster. Make Democrats stand up, get recognized, and speak. If they want to filibuster the bill, don't give it to them for free. Don't let them have the benefits of the filibuster while they're napping or on vacation or whatever else it is that they do. Make them actually show up and speak. I'm going to continue to argue for that. I mean, regardless of what Senate Republican leadership thinks, I'm not going to back away from the fact that I think that is the best possible chance of passing this bill, perhaps the only way. But regardless, we got to be prepared for what it is that happens when it gets to the floor. So let's continue to advance the arguments for the bill itself and for the strategy that we think is best. If not us, who? If not now, when? And we've got an 85-15 issue that is also critical to preserving the integrity of our elections. Let's get this done. Don't slow down. Let's redouble our efforts. This thing is hitting the floor likely in less than a week. Let's make it happen.
SAVE Act hitting the floor in less than a week, according to Mike Lee. Question to somebody in our chat here. Wiser for it says, Sean, remind everyone to get out and vote no in Virginia's special election. Early voting started. What are we voting no on? I'm not saying that in a mean. I just want to know, what am I telling people to vote no on? That's all. So wiser for it. If you could just let us know in the chat what's going on in that Virginia special election. I was not aware of it. I'd be happy to raise awareness for, whatever it is that that you'd like me to raise awareness for. Just tell me what we're voting no on. I'd like to be aware before I tell people to do something. I'd like to know exactly. Redistricting. Okay, yes. 100%. Vote no. If you're in Virginia, anybody here in Virginia, If you're in Virginia, vote no on redistricting. Yes, it's going to be a tough one to win, but get out and vote no. Vote no on redistricting in Virginia. We don't want to see Republican seats get districted out. So there it goes. It goes from 6 to 5 to 10 to 1. 6-5 Democrat to 10 to 1 Democrat if you vote yes. Vote no in Virginia. Vote no in Virginia. Thank you. This is what I'm talking about. Thank you, Wiser, for being read in and wanting to raise awareness. Now, my question is, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, have you texted 10 friends? Have you knocked on 10 doors? Maybe you don't want to knock on 10 doors. Fine. Have you sent 10 emails? Have you made those posts on social media? You brought it to my attention, which is great. Try and bring it to as many people's attention as possible. And you'll see. Maybe you can make some change. But if you're in Virginia, vote no on redistricting. Thank you, Wiser, for it. We're all wiser for it now. Thank you for bringing that, as Trump would say. Thank you for your attention to this matter. All right. The talking filibuster is the way to go in the Senate. I want to just, for maybe the last time on the show, we'll go through what is the talking filibuster and why is that different than what we have going on now. What we have now is this, what they call the zombie filibuster, okay? Which means the Democrats can just claim that they're filibustering without actually filibustering. Filibustering is supposed to be the act of endless debate, okay? And the Senate is a chamber that was designed to be the cooling chamber, the upper chamber of the legislature, where most bills go and they quote unquote cool off because there's a lot of debate that's happening around those bills, and a lot of the times those bills they don't pass because there's just not enough support for it. When you bring something like the Save America Act to a vote in the Senate, if you're using the zombie filibuster, the act of invoking cloture or blocking the filibuster is what requires the 60 votes, okay? So if you have the 60 votes, you block the filibuster, and then you can move to a simple majority vote to pass the legislation, but you need 60 to get to the point where you can pass it where you can pass it with a simple majority. The 60 essentially blocks the filibuster or ends the filibuster. When you have a talking filibuster, okay? In other words, somebody gets up, Democrats line up, whatever, up on the floor of the Senate, and they continue to speak endlessly, okay? If you get to a point where you have a real filibuster, the way to stop that filibuster would be to invoke cloture and end debate, right? The way to stop that endless speech, that endless debate portion is through 60 votes, or the filibuster can end organically or naturally. And I heard Mike Lee describe it like this not too long ago. I heard Mike Lee describe it as taking a nap. There's two ways to wake up from a nap. You can either wake up naturally or you can be woken up, right? You can wake up naturally. Okay, nap time's over. I napped for 30 minutes. I didn't need an alarm. I'm up. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to hit it again. Or you set an alarm on your phone and your alarm ends the nap, right? So think of the alarm on your phone as the 60 vote threshold, right? The 60 vote threshold is the alarm. You hit that 60 votes, nap is over. Debate is over. Filibuster is over. That's called cloture. Or do you wake up from the nap? Did you wake up from the nap organically, i.e. filibuster ended because the Democrats finally figured out, right, that the Democrats finally stopped with the filibustering and the endless debate. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get through this, and I see this assholes in the chat again causing problems, and he's hiding behind the just asking questions nonsense. What did he ask, by the way?
Oh, no. He's just not saying. He said, gosh, I got to go back and find
Oh,
it.
don't worry about it. Screw him. He's not worth the time.
Oh, and Sean, my profile 8-ball has nothing to do with eating balls, as you so malignantly spoke about
Malignantly.
yesterday. The name signifies my like of the game of pool or Professor
Okay.
Billiards. God
Yeah.
bless.
I think he plays pocket pool.
So I said, sucks when someone accuses you of something you didn't do, doesn't it? She's a little tight on the other foot. And he said, I didn't accuse.
That's
I
right. That's
asked."
fine. This show is not about this piece of garbage in my chat here, because this person's a piece of garbage, accusing me of being paid yesterday for pushing I guess 85% of America is paid, by the way.
I just wanted to
85%.
fill you in because you were trying to figure it out.
Yeah, that's fine. He's garbage. I'm just going to ignore this person. My point is here on the filibuster, if you organically end the filibuster, you don't need 60 votes. That's my point. Just like if you organically wake up from a nap, you don't need an alarm. Get it? That's why the talking filibuster, because you will never organically end a zombie filibuster. You will always need 60 votes to move past the zombie filibuster, right? But if you organically end, a talking filibuster can end organically when they're just done, when they're spent, when they're done talking, right? And so you can end that quote-unquote nap. You can end that quote-unquote filibuster period by waking up without the alarm. I hope this makes sense. I hope the analogy makes sense. That's the way, and that's the easiest way. I think that's the path of least resistance of getting this thing passed. The Save America Act. The Save America Act. Getting passed in the Senate, best way to do it is through the use of the talking filibuster, because you may be able to bypass needing 60 votes if and when that filibuster ends organically. All right, let's take a quick break. Let's get to a word from our friends at goldencrestmetals.com/LFA, goldencrestmetals.com/LFA, and then we will talk about results that Donald Trump has delivered. So while everyone is disillusioned with Congress, we can be happy. We can be happy with some of the results, very big result out of Texas that Donald Trump has delivered. Take a look.
I'm sure by now you've heard that silver went up 160% last year, 2025. I bought this silver for $22 an ounce. It's now worth almost $100. And we and experts think that silver is going to get up to about $200 an ounce. Palladium and platinum were stuck at $900 an ounce for like over a year, or in that area. Now they're up over $2,000. Gold is approaching $5,000 an ounce. If you have ever thought about putting some or all of your retirement or nest egg or savings or just buying bullion in precious metals, now's the time to do it. goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. That's goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. Go leave your name, your email, and your phone number. Schedule a time to talk to the folks over at Golden Crest Metals. Get your free gold guide today, and make sure you tune in on Saturdays at 1 p.m. for the Crest Report, where we dive deep into precious metals, why they're doing what they're doing, and where we expect them to go. It is like insider trading. Nancy Pelosi knows about that. We don't. It's just inside information. It's not even really that. It's called knowledge. Get yours today and get a part of gold, silver, palladium, and platinum and diversify your portfolio today. goldencrestmetals.com/LFA.
goldencrestmetals.com/LFA, goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. Grumpy04 has a good question in the chat. So you wear their ass out and it takes less votes. I'm confused. Yes, that's exactly what essentially happens. All right. So I'm going to try and explain it one more time so that it's easier to understand. And no disrespect to anybody who's having a hard time understanding it, because I'm trying to understand it while also trying to ignore the moron that's in the chat. Grumpy04. So you wear their ass out and it takes less votes. I'm confused. If you have a talking filibuster, you don't necessarily need 60 votes to advance to the final vote on the legislation that's up for a vote in the Senate. Okay? Because when you have a talking filibuster, eventually they're going to stop talking, right? Remember, the 60 votes is used to end or bypass or block debate, which is the filibuster. You don't need to end the filibuster if the filibuster ends on its own, right? Just like you don't need an alarm to wake up from a nap if you wake up from a nap on your own, right? Do you understand what I'm saying in terms of the nap analogy? If you don't set an alarm because you're good at sleeping for 30 minutes on end, or you say, I don't need to wake up in a half hour. I can wake up in an hour and a half, whatever. I'll just wake up on my own. I don't need an alarm to get me there. Then eventually your nap will just end organically. The same thing happens with the talking filibuster. At some point, they will stop talking. They have to. At some point, the filibuster ends organically. Once it ends organically and their filibuster is quote unquote exhausted and the debate ends by itself, you don't need 60 votes to end debate. The legislation then progresses to a full vote without needing to invoke what's called cloture. Okay? With the zombie filibuster, since there's actually no process being undertaken by your senators, i.e., no actual filibuster, as Mike Lee says, you're giving it to them for free, you need 60 votes to move to the next stage. Whereas with a talking filibuster, you can move to the next stage organically. So as Grumpy04 said in the chat, so you wear their ass out and it takes less votes. Essentially, yes. I hope that made more sense. I really do. Great guy Gary says, how did this zombie filibuster get started in the first place? It's a bunch of lazy people up on D.C. Oh, well, we're just going to threaten to filibuster. Okay, well, then you need 60 votes to stop our threat. Oh, well, how about we just say, oh, you want a filibuster? Have at it. Because once they start filibustering, if that filibuster ends organically, the reason why they don't start filibustering is because once it ends organically, they don't need the 60 votes. And so they've made that a tradition in the Senate. And that's why everything's getting held up there. All right. Here are some results that Donald Trump has achieved. More winning. Drill, baby, drill leads to refine, baby, refine. A brand new oil refinery is opening up in Texas. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Okay? This has been made possible by Donald Trump's Drill Baby Drill initiative, but also the foreign energy and foreign investment initiatives here. The president on Truth Social wrote, America is returning to real energy dominance. Today, I'm proud to announce that America First Refining is opening the first new U.S. oil refinery in 50 years in Brownsville, Texas. It's a historic $300 billion deal. The biggest in U.S. history, a massive win for American workers, energy, and the great people of South Texas. Thank you to our partners in India and their largest privately held energy company, Reliance, for this tremendous investment. It is because of our America First agenda, streamlining permits and lowering taxes that have attracted billions of dollars in deals coming back to our nation. A new refinery at the port of Brownsville will fuel U.S. markets, strengthen our national security, boost American energy production, deliver billions of dollars in economic impact, and will be the cleanest refinery in the world. It will power global exports and bring thousands of long overdue jobs and growth to a region that deserves it. This is what American energy dominance looks like. America first, always. These are results that were brought about solely because of the work of Donald J. Trump. Okay? This has nothing to do with Congress. This is Trump going out making deals, having these countries invest in our country, and now it's bringing jobs into the United States of America. Good jobs. This is not barista, no disrespect to anybody who works at Starbucks. It's honest work, but it's hard to support an adult lifestyle or a family working at Starbucks as a barista, right? I think we could all agree. No disrespect. It's honest work. If you have that job, if you work in that job, no problem, right? No disrespect whatsoever. But these jobs on an oil refinery are good, well-paying jobs, right? That are coming into Texas. And it's not just going to be Texas. You're going to deal with all of these other investments, plants that are being built around the country. And you're going to have a lot of Americans getting put back to work in well-paying jobs. Wages start to increase. That starts to outpace inflation. That is the way to organically and sufficiently address the affordability crisis in this country. Drill, baby, drill. Refine, baby, refine. That is what America First looks like. All right. I want to talk about this story out of New York City as well. The FBI has discovered apparently a storage unit in Pennsylvania, and there is a connection to the ISIS-inspired terrorists that tried to bomb New York City protesters and counter-protesters. The FBI has found explosive residue in a Pennsylvania storage unit that authorities believe is connected to the ISIS-inspired attempted bombing in New York City that took place on Saturday. Ibrahim Kiyumi and Emir Balat are facing federal charges in connection with the attempted bombing attack. Yesterday's search of the storage unit believed to be connected to the Gracie Mansion incident revealed explosive residue. FBI Special Agent bomb technicians and the local bomb squads conducted a controlled detonation to ensure the safety of law enforcement and others in the area. We're thankful for the assistance of the FBI Philadelphia field office and the local Middletown and Newton agencies who assisted our office throughout the night, the FBI said in a post on X. An official said that some of the local police had found then detonated some of the components at the facility on Monday evening, per NBC News. Balat, as well as Kiyumi, are facing federal charges in connection with the incident that took place on Saturday. Balat was seen on video throwing a makeshift IED at a crowd of protesters on Saturday morning in New York City near Gracie Mansion, but it did not detonate. So they found a storage unit now in Pennsylvania, and apparently that storage unit, there's a bunch of evidence in there that says that their targets were far larger than just, fake Christian right-wing, so-called right-wing grifter Jake Lang. And anybody who's propping up Jake Lang at this point, I've got a huge problem with, because this guy is up. He's never up to any good. Guy's up to no good. Please don't fall for this grift. I don't understand why people fall for it. I get it. We're in the age of sensationalism. Well, he's taking on the Muslims. And he's also acting like he was the target of this attack. He was not targeted. He happened to be where he was. These guys had much bigger targets than Jake Lang. They probably don't even know who Jake Lang is. And that makes Jake Lang very unhappy. Trust me, nobody wants to be a target more than Jake Lang. He wants to be. That's why he went into a mob in Minnesota, provoked him, and got stabbed, and then said, please donate to me. Dude, it's like if you throw yourself in front of a moving vehicle and then ask for somebody to pay for your medical bills. No, you did that to yourself. Your actions have consequences. I don't want to see people get hurt. I don't want to see Jake Lang get hurt. But what I also don't want to see is good people get hurt. And what I mean by getting hurt is I mean getting scammed. Scammed out of your hard-earned dollars. You know, I saw a few people commenting in our chat like, oh, I want to buy certain things, but I can't afford it right now. I totally sympathize with that. And I'm sorry that you're going through it. Please don't get scammed by people who want to take advantage of you. Right? And that's what Jake Lang is trying to do. So please be aware of that. Stay vigilant. Keep your head on a swivel with these grifters. Okay? By the way, on that bomb story, CNN, did you hear about this one? CNN wrote an article. They posted a piece that said these guys were just two teenagers making their way into New York City from Pennsylvania. Excuse me? Teenagers? That kind of reminds me of when we played that clip from the Los Angeles riots. Some people say there were riots. Others say it was just a bunch of people standing around watching cars burn. Having fun watching cars burn. Really? That's how you have fun? Hey, there's a car burning on the street. You want to go have fun and watch it? No. Generally, when cars are burning, they go boom. And if you're too close to the car when it goes boom, you get hurt. And we don't want you to get hurt. What do you mean having...
There's never been a good incident where a car is on fire.
No.
There's never been like, goody. Nice.
They're just standing around watching, having fun watching cars burn. Really? They're just watching it. Have the cars start burning.
That's that double speak.
Yeah. How'd the cars start burning? Who lit them on fire? Oh, that's right. CNN wrote this tweet. They deleted it, but they wrote this tweet. 2 Pennsylvania teenagers crossed into New York City Saturday morning for what could have been a normal day, enjoying the city during abnormally warm weather. Sounds like nice guys, don't they? 2 Pennsylvania teenagers. 2 Pennsylvania. Doesn't that kind of sound like how the Washington Post kind of glazed al-Baghdadi? Austere religious scholar Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi killed by U.S. forces. Austere. You know who else?
Yeah.
Whoa. You all right?
I will be.
Okay.
What?
You know who else? The Ayatollah, of Iran, the supreme loser, the former one, dead.
Right.
Okay. Thomas Massey.
Okay.
He was just a religious leader, the Ayatollah.
Oh,
Thomas Massie.
give me a break.
Thomas Massie, the man who is being funded heavily by Islamists. Okay. I wonder when we're going to see Massie in a keffiyeh. Probably soon. Probably soon. 2 Pennsylvania teenagers crossed into New York City Saturday morning for what could have been a normal day, enjoying the city during abnormally warm weather. Sounds like beachgoers, right? Just others out there to enjoy the city. But in less than an hour, their lives would drastically change as the pair would be arrested for throwing homemade bombs during an anti-Muslim protest outside of Mayor Zohran Mamdani's house. CNN deleted that tweet because it was effing ridiculous. Just a couple teenagers in New York City. It's cool. Yeah, anything to cover for radical Islam, right? Anything to cover for them. Wonder why they try so hard to cover for them. Is it maybe because they threatened to cut people's heads off? Maybe we should start doing that. Just kidding. Let's not doing that. Let's not do that. Okay? Let's not start doing that. The media. The media is not your friend. You'll never be able to trust them. Never be able to trust them. All right, a quick word from our friends over at Silent. Let's face it, your phone is a tracking device between government agencies, big tech, corporate data brokers, even cyber criminals. They're all fighting for a piece of your digital footprint. And they don't ask, they just go on and take it. That's why Silent exists. Silent makes Faraday gear that blocks all wireless signals, including cellular, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, RFID, and near-field communications. No signal means no tracking, no remote access, and no breadcrumbs. It's the same technology trusted by special operations teams around the world, used to block signals, avoid surveillance, and secure communications wherever the mission leads. And right now, it is available to you. To protect your family, protect your freedom, and secure your digital footprint, just drop your phone in a Silent Faraday sleeve, and it is off the grid, completely silent and invisible to the outside world. From their backpacks to their sleeves to their crossbody, Silent's patented technology gives you control of your privacy. Just visit slnt.com/Sean, slnt.com/Sean to save 15% and get free shipping on qualifying orders. That is Silent, slnt.com/Sean. Protect your rights, secure your data, and stay one step ahead. Silent.com. Everybody knows what we're going to say next. Silence!
Silence!
The chaos. And go silent today. slnt.com/SHAWN, slnt.com/SHAWN. Okay. You guys remember the name Cassidy Hutchinson? Do you remember that name? You probably
Vaguely.
You vaguely.
Cassidy, the part, yes.
Cassidy Hutchinson. Rack your brain. Think about who that might be.
Oh,
you probably won't.
No, my brain's not able to rack.
How about
right
in
now.
the chat? How about in the chat? Do you remember who Cassidy Hutchinson is? Guys, remember Cassidy Hutchinson? Does that name sound familiar? Let's see what. Let's see if anybody in the live chat remembers who that is. And no worries if you don't remember who that is. But Cassidy Hutchinson was an interesting name. Speak says the Lady Cheney coach. The Mark Meadows, I think you mean, Kit Kat Mark. Yes. B-Hops remembers the name. Trump grabbed the wheel. Yes. 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 We have very smart people. Very smart people. Look at you. Very smart people. We love the smart people. Cassidy the liar, as Winky says. Winky's very clever with her nicknames. Cassidy Hutchinson said that Donald Trump grabbed. Oh, is that not scrolling? What is going on here? Hold on. I will fix it. I will fix it. There we go. Cassidy Hutchinson said that Donald Trump on January 6th tried to grab control of the presidential limo, which is impossible from where he sits in the car. He's going to have like 18-foot arms, and he's busting through. Cassidy Hutchinson made up that whole story in front of the January 6th committee back when that was a thing. Well, quietly, this kind of came out last night. The J6 committee's anti-Trump storyteller has been referred to the Department of Justice for criminal charges. Oh. Ain't no fun. When the rabbits got the gun. Joseph McKinnon over on Blaze Media. The January 6th committee's various improprieties in its prioritization of narrative over facts has been exposed. House Republicans have reportedly referred January 6th committee star witness Cassidy Hutchinson to the Department of Justice for criminal charges. A pair of sources reportedly familiar with the recent developments told CNN that Republican Representative Barry Loudermilk from Georgia, the chairman of the Select Committee to investigate the remaining questions surrounding January 6th, recently made the referral, which was co-signed by House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan. The referral reportedly accuses Hutchinson, who milked her time in the limelight for a book deal, of lying to Congress in her public testimony in June of 2022. It is quite obvious. It's quite obvious that she lied because Donald Trump didn't grab the wheel of the car. I didn't do that. I would never do. First of all, he can't reach the wheel from the back seat of the presidential limo. Look, where's it going to go? I don't know. Is Cassidy Hutchinson going to go to jail? I don't know. Is this a good referral? Yes, it is a good referral. She wasn't pardoned. So, again, is this going to mean that she's spending the rest of her life in prison? Probably not, okay? But it's news. And it's a good way to end on this Wednesday and say, you know what? At least maybe the process will be the punishment for her. Or maybe the punishment will be the punishment. Maybe it can be. I mean, I think it can be proven that she lied to Congress. She obviously got to deal with a tough jury pool that's going to be in the either D.C. or Virginia, Northern Virginia districts. But Cassidy Hutchinson being referred to the Department of Justice. We'll see what Pam Bondi decides to do. We know that Pam Bondi, has been lacking in the results department. We'll see what comes of it. I did want to tell you that because I think it's good news that at least something's happening there. I mean, it's obvious that she lied. Trump did not grab the wheel of the car and get into fights with Secret Service agents. All right. Jeremy Harrell up next with Live from America here on rumble.com/LFA TV. The Dan Bongino interview will be playing, and there is a very special announcement at the end of the Dan Bongino interview, which is really cool. Pertaining to something going on next week. So check that out. It's on Jeremy will be streaming the interview live here so you guys can see it. Rumble.com/LFA TV. If you're listening anywhere you get your podcasts, search for Ungoverned. Hit the subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. As President Trump says, we will never give up, we will never give in, and we will never ever surrender. If all else fails, we'll just become ungovernable. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I will be on the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. We're joining him from 11 to 12 Central Time, so an hour from now, on the Tennessee bonus hour of the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. You can follow along with that on X at Michael P. Leahy, Leahy. Enjoy the Bongino interview. Enjoy Live from America coming up for the next few hours, and we'll see you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, rumble.com/LFA TV. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the follow button. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Thank you for your attention to this matter.